Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So I am in a massive reading slump. I have not been able to finish a single book for like 2 weeks now, which is a huge reason on why I haven't released any videos, because I just simply don't have any. The creativity not flowing, the reading not there. I don't know what it is, but I have tried reading 3 different Kindle Unlimited books that I saw either on TikTok or Instagram. They sounded super interesting, so I just went for them, and I have DNF'd all 3. The most recent one was Vicious. It was something along the lines of like Vicious Feathers, somewhere around there, and I got 60% of the way through, just DNF'd that like 10 minutes ago. I don't know, I just wasn't really connecting with it. Really just couldn't even focus for more than like 2 pages before I would find myself doing anything else, which is unfortunate because I was really enjoying it at the beginning. Okay, so the ones that I've DNF'd was, I DNF'd Little Stranger, that one I think like 30%. Then it was The Wolf King by Lauren Palfreman. Honestly, I don't really remember why I DNF'd that one. Like, I don't remember anything in particular that I didn't like about it. I just don't think I was really connected or like invested in any of the characters. Spookily Yours by Jennifer Chipman. Again, I don't know. It just felt a little too insta-lovey for me, and I like a good slow burn. So that one I ended up DNFing at I think like 60%. And then Feathers So Vicious was the one that I just DNF'd, again at the 60% mark. And that one, I really wasn't feeling the story, didn't really care. And like I said, every like 2 pages, I felt myself just kind of either watching a YouTube video or scrolling on my phone. Like, I just found myself doing anything other than reading. Now, the problem with this is because I am in such a reading slump, literally nothing sounds good to me. I was mildly gravitating towards An Enchantment of Ravens. There were a couple Kindle Unlimited books that I've been eyeing, but with the last 4 being Kindle Unlimited books that I have DNF'd, I'm not paying for Kindle Unlimited this month. I'm going to take a break. I'll like find Kindle Unlimited books and pile them together, and I'll just binge all those in 1 month to kind of make up for the $12 a month that it is. I'm trying to get through my physical TBR. I really keep eyeing Priory of the Orange Tree, but with how much I've been getting like to the 50 to 60% mark with books and just not caring anymore, I think I'm going to hold off on a really long book. I think right now what I need is just something kind of shorter. I have like the Illumicrate reading prompt cards, and I think I'm just going to use these. A book you never finished, I can't go to something that I haven't finished yet. I can't do it. I'll just shuffle these. No judgment on the fact that I can't shuffle. And then I'm just going to go like towards the middle, and I'm just going to pick one. Get out of there. Okay. You've got to be kidding me. The longest book on my TBR. I literally just got done saying I need to pick something short. Honestly, instead of these, I think I'm just going to go through, look at my books, pick a couple, and then really just hardcore debate on which one I want to read. These are all the ones that when I was looking on my shelf kind of stuck out to me. So it's Where the Dark Stands Still by A.B. Pornick, Gothicana by Runix, The Last Tale of the Flower Bride by Roshani Chokshi, Nettle and Bone by T. Kingfisher, which I've started this before, and I remember I got to like the 100-page mark and I soft DNF'd it. Then we have The Bone Orchard by Sarah A. Mueller, The Book of Azrael by Amber Nicole, which again, I am on page 141 of this, and I did stop reading that, so that one's a potential one. House of Salt and Sorrows by Erin A. Craig, and An Enchantment of Ravens by Margaret Rogerson. This one is kind of really pulling me into it just because it's YA. I'm kind of sick of like the spice. I just don't really want to read about it anymore. And I've been wanting to read this for a long time. It's definitely on the shorter side. This one's also kind of on the shorter side, and it does sound interesting. I do kind of want to get back to this because I was enjoying it. I don't know. What is this one about? This one also sounds really interesting too. I think I'm gonna go with this one. We'll go with this one. I wanted to give a update on an Enchantment of Ravens. I have hit the 50% mark on this, so I wanted to kind of talk about it a little bit. I am very in the middle with this book, and I don't know if it still has to do with me being in a reading slump, because I feel like this would be better if I would have just sat down and binged it, but it has been like 3 days. I'm taking my sweet time reading. And I feel like that might be part of the problem. My biggest gripe with this book, really my only gripe, is just the plot. I'm kind of confused on like what the whole plot is. I don't know how to describe it. So basically how this starts off is we have our main character. I already forgot her name. Names are not my friend. Isabel. We have Isabel, who's a human. And she lives in this town called Whimsy, which I believe is in like an eternal spring, if I was understanding correctly, due to the fair folk. And this very much so, one of my favorite things about this is it very much so reminds me of the world of Alfheim. Like the way things are described, the way that the Fae are, like the way they act in that, very much so reminds me of The Cruel Prince, and I really do enjoy that. That was like one of my favorite things about that series, is it didn't feel like how a lot of the books with Fae in it read. It's very much so like the tricksters, you really have to watch like the bargains that you are making with them. They're very, very tricky, and things have to be very precise with how you word things with them. And the way that the whole entire world is described is very, very well done. Like, she does such a good job describing the way things are changing and morphing as our main character is walking through these woods. Like, it's just so good. I love that aspect. Like I said before, I'm just a little lost on the plot. It kind of feels more of like a back burner, and like I said before, it may just be me reading in short spurts and not just sitting down and binging it. I feel like it'd be easier to understand and follow along if I would have just done that. But basically you're following Isabel, and the fae folk come to each human has like a craft, and if you do a good enough job at it, then the fae folk will like hire you to do this. So she is a very, very good artist. She does portraits, and the fae folk are very conceited beings. They very much so care about their appearances, so they want their portraits done, and they want the best person to do it, so they come to her for it. And she starts off with doing a portrait for a fae person named Gladfly, and he ends up recommending her to the Autumn Prince. I think he's the prince. I don't remember if he's like the prince or the king, but his name is Rook. He comes here and she's painting him, but there are like certain emotions that the fae folk are not supposed to have. So she ends up painting an emotion on there, and he leaves and says, you know, in 2 weeks, as soon as you're like done, I'm going to send somebody to come pick that up. Well, she sends that, and it ends up causing problems for him in his court. Because like I said before, they're not supposed to have certain emotions, and she managed to kind of like paint this emotion in his picture. So he is now viewed as like weak from the other fae folk. Okay, so it does say what it is. She paints sorrow, like human sorrow, in his eyes. So he is very angry. He comes back and he takes her and he's like, you're going to be put on trial. And then as they're going there, they start realizing that there is like a huge problem in the fairy realm that is just like one thing after the other is happening as they're trying to travel back. They realize that this is a huge issue and they need to deal with that. But as they're doing that, they're realizing that they are becoming more trustworthy in each other and possibly even falling in love, which is not okay between a fairy and a human. So if that does happen, that's like one of their biggest laws. It forfeits both their lives. I am enjoying it more so now that we're kind of getting more of Rook and Isabel like paying attention to each other. My camera's about to die. There's a couple parts that Rook has had me like kicking my feet with the things that he says. It's very interesting, like the way that he talks, because it's not meant to be like cute. He's very serious and blunt because the fae in here can't lie. So everything that he says is just like he's trying, like if she says thank you for something, him being a fae, he has to say you're welcome even if he doesn't want to. And it's so funny like seeing the little defiance that he has even when he says it, and like him not understanding her emotions. It's just interesting. It's definitely an interesting read. I want to finish it. It's not something that I'm considering DNFing, but I am kind of hoping that the plot picks up a little bit more in the last half with all of like the trouble that they're running into. I feel like it will. Okay, the lighting's not the best, but we gotta work with what we have. This week is kind of like a chaotic week, so the times of recording are a little unfortunate with the dark. But I finished this last night, so I want to do like my final thoughts and everything. I am going with a 4-star for this book. I want to start with like the things that I really liked about this book. I really enjoyed the atmosphere of this book and like the descriptions of the world. Like I feel like the world building and the way that the world is talked about is super whimsical. It very much so is reminiscent of the Cruel Prince trilogy. So if you really like the world of Elfhame, especially like how it's described, this I feel is very, very similar to that. I really loved her descriptors and it just made me feel very immersed in that world. I could easily picture where they were, what they were doing, and I really enjoyed that. I also like this take on the Fae people. Again, it's very reminiscent of the Cruel Prince. So if you really like the Cruel Prince trilogy, I really do think that you'll like this. It talks about the fair folk the same way that they do, and I really like that version of the Fae. It's just very, like, puts you on edge, like, the whole time that they are talking to the fair folk. It's very much so of precise wording and making sure that you're pretty much hitting every single point and not leaving any gaps in the bargains that you make with the Fae. And so I really enjoyed that aspect. The only downfalls that I found with this book is I was a little, like, the plot just kind of felt a little off to me. I understood in the beginning, like, what the plot was to it, but I don't know. It could, and this could be from me taking so long to read this, because this is a short book, and it legit took me, like, 5 days to read this. So it could really be me not sitting down and just reading this book in longer stretches, so I was kind of missing, like, key points in it. I don't know, but it just felt like the plot was in the beginning, and then it just faded off. And then you got like another little plot reminder, but then it died off again. And then like the last 20 pages, it all comes together, which leads into my next thing. I felt like up until the last like 2 or 3 chapters, not much really happens. So this feels very much so like kind of a cozy fall read until you get to the end, and then all the action happens. There's like a couple small things here and there. But if you're looking for something that has a lot of action, this one's not going to be it. I'd say like 75% of it is definitely a lot more low stakes, kind of not much going on, more so like world building and relationship. Like not even just romance wise, but just like talking to other fae folk and stuff like that. It's more so here's a small key part happening and then dialogue, which I didn't personally dislike, but I definitely thought more would be going on with it. But overall, it definitely gets 4 stars. I really enjoyed it. I think that this is a perfect fall read. It's very like cozy, whimsical, very magical world. I don't think this is part of a series. I haven't fully looked into it, but I don't think that it is. Though it definitely doesn't end on like a cliffhanger or anything where I think that it would lead into another book. So if it is part of a series, I would imagine that it focuses on other characters so you could read this as a standalone. But yeah, I really enjoyed our main character. Really enjoyed our main male character. He had me kicking my feet in quite a few spots. This is YA, so closed door. Nothing crazy happens. I don't remember if there were even any spice scenes. I think there's like one kissing scene, maybe 2. That's about it. But anyway, yeah, recommend it. I wanted to read more books in this reading vlog, so I guess we'll make this what I realistically read in a week, because legit, like, I don't know what it is, but I've been very slow at reading lately. I'm not quite sure. I guess I'll give like a little reading update now that we're at the end. Don't judge me for how many books I'm reading right now. I don't want to talk about it. I'm still very much so in a reading slump. That didn't get me out of it. It helped with how like short it was, but I'm definitely still very much so in the midst of one. I have no clue. Okay, well, this is taking forever and I can't be bothered with this anymore. Currently on my Kindle, I'm reading Rekindling the Flame. Okay, here we go. Rekindling the Flame by Madison Myers. This is the advanced reader copy, but I believe it's already out. I'm pretty sure it came out last week. And because of my reading slump, I never ended up getting to this, which I feel really bad about. So I'm reading it now. I'm like 18% of the way through, and I am really enjoying it right now. Basically, there is trigger warning. I don't know how it's going to go, but as of right now, like, this is all happening in the first chapter, so no spoilers. As of right now, her mom is diagnosed with some type of cancer. I can't remember what type of cancer now, but she is diagnosed with cancer, and our main character has been gone for the last like 10 or 12 years, living in New York or LA, a big city, as a lawyer. And so she has come back to her very small town to take care of her mom, like her final 9 months of life. She had left behind like a serious boyfriend before she left. So this is like a second chance romance. I don't know where this is going to go, but potential grief, loss of a parent. So let that be warned. But so far in the 18%, I am really enjoying it. I like so far what they're doing with the two main characters and like their banter in that. I'm not super far in though, so I'm not really positive exactly how I'm gonna feel, but so far I'm enjoying it. It's definitely like a nice little cozy romance so far. Then this morning while I was at work, I decided to start the audiobook to The Lost Apothecary by Sarah Penner. I really don't remember anything about this book, and I only made it through like the first chapter or the first 2 chapters. Yeah, so chapter 2 is following Caroline in present day, and then our first chapter was like back in the day. I do really like the narration, like her accent. Yeah, the chapter 1 was following Nella back in 1791. So this one says, a forgotten history, a secret network of women, a legacy of poison and revenge. Welcome to the Lost Apothecary. In 18th century London, women whisper of a hidden apothecary shop and its mysterious owner, Nella, who sells well-disguised poisons to use against the oppressive men in their lives. And it says, Nella's dark world is no place for her newest patron, a precocious 12-year-old named Eliza Fanning, but their unexpected bond sparks a string of consequences that echoes through the centuries. 200 years later, aspiring historian Caroline Parswell is running from her own demons when she discovers a clue to London's long unsolved apothecary murders. Caroline's upended present soon collides with an explosive history, binding her fate to Nella's and Eliza's in a stunning twist that transcends the barrier of time. Seemed like a good pick for now, and I got the audiobook through my local library, so decided to start listening to that this morning. I have no thoughts so far at all because the chapters are short. That's going to be what I'm listening to this coming up week. And then I'm also in the middle of doing another Court of Mist and Fury reread. This is my fourth or fifth reread. I am on page 310 right now. I haven't picked this one up in like a week though. I'm almost to chapter 33, and I'm really enjoying this. I'll always enjoy this. On my drive home from work, I hardcore debated coming home and picking up Throne of Glass again and doing a reread of that, but I want to finish this first, and then I'll probably do that reread. And then also I remembered that this was coming in the mail today. This is Spectacular by Stephanie Garver. This is a Caraval holiday novella that just got released yesterday or 2 days ago. I got the Barnes & Noble special edition and it just arrived today, and I'm gonna be starting this as soon as I turn the camera off. I can tell you that much right now. I'm very excited for this. This special edition it has no business being this cute. No business. I'm going to show it to you because I absolutely love it. So we have the cover. Beautiful, spectacular. Hello. The back. Hello. And then I absolutely love... Oops, I just bent that. My bad. I love the foiled cover. It says, brimming with advice guaranteed to change your love life, how not to lose the love of your life, Pandora Loveless. So cute. And then the end pages, please. And also this is illustrated. Let me just show you. I obviously won't go through all of them, but like, why is this so perfect? Hello? Stop. The dedication says, this one is for my sister. There wouldn't be a Scarlett and Tella if there hadn't been a Stephanie and Allison first. That's so cute. And then this is the map to it. I just love this edition. It's perfect. It's so cute. Like, hello. There's nothing that makes me more happy than books that have just perfect illustrations to them. Like, I'm telling you, nothing will make me more happy. Especially when it comes to, like, Halloween or Christmas ones. But this is literally, I'm only getting to the first chapter right now, and there's just so many. Like, I'm just obsessed. It's every page, literally almost every single page just has this elaborate thing. I can't. I'm not gonna lie, like, I remember how the trilogy went. I'm really hoping that Jax is in here. I need it. I want it. I'm gonna be extremely sad if I don't. But anyway, I'm gonna be ending this reading vlog. I'm disappointed in myself for only getting through one book. I was hoping that I'd get through more, but I have a very busy next 3 days, and I do really want to get this reading vlog out by Saturday. I really want to start getting more consistent with my uploads again. This is going to be in the next reading vlog. I'm going to start that one. But even with it being short, I know with how busy I am the next couple days that even this is going to take me a couple days to even get through. So with that being said, thank you guys so much for watching. I greatly appreciate it. Let me know if you picked this up, if you've read the Caraval trilogy, if you picked this up, and if you've read it yet, and what your thoughts were. Of course, spoiler free. Always. But did you like it or not? Also, what book are you currently reading? What's your fall go-to? Because I'm still in my reading slump, so I really want to try my hardest to get out of that because I'm tired of being in it. Almost 4 weeks of being in a reading slump is a bit ridiculous, and I'm not happy with it, and I need to get out of it, so I need Rex on what you think would be a perfect book to pick up for in a reading slump. Ideally, fall books. But anyway, thank you so much for watching. I hope to see you in the next one. Bye!